So I'm working at this kind of intersection of disability, social content, and entrepreneurship. The disability part is a full-time wheelchair user, have like care assistants to help me with my daily living, and I guess just general life experiences. I want to make the world more inclusive and more accessible. That's like the mission side, right? The social content is I started blogging in 2009. I've done podcasting, got a YouTube channel, done all the great brand stuff that you talk about a lot. And yeah, I've been voted one of Britain's most influential disabled people. So that's kind of the brand, the content, social media side. And then entrepreneurially, I co-founded a community magazine called Disability Horizons. Lately we've co-founded Purple Goat, which is basically like VaynerMedia, but connecting big brands with the disability market. For those that don't know, 1.3 billion people globally, spending $8 trillion annually. It's a totally untapped market. And also I sold a travel business to Accommodable with my, to Airbnb with my co-founder a couple of years ago. So coming to the question around commerce, the community magazine Disability Horizons, we got about a year ago into product and, kind of feeling our way, a bit novice at it. And some of the PPE equipment, because of the pandemic, exploded and we did a lot of revenue. But we're trying to get way more strategic and tactical about the right products for the right part of the disability audience. So my question comes back to Facebook advertising. Facebook doesn't hold data on health or disability, but we want to get products for blind people that are useful. So get cool content with influencers, hit that segment, etc., etc. So I just wonder what you both think about how to overcome that issue around data.
Well, data doesn't exist in a lot of places, and content and common sense take over when you don't have the ability to go data. Everyone's going to have this problem with iOS 14, right? Or at least anybody who's trying to reach somebody on an iPhone, which is a hell of a lot of people. I think that what you have to do is create ecosystems of creative and then distribute them in contextual places. We may go back, Marty, to a place where you're marketing inside Facebook message groups and you're paying, like you get to go to hand-to-hand combat, right? You go to blogs, you go to YouTube channels that are speaking to the community. You go to almost like television, like DNA, where you're going there. And so, I think you can't change what doesn't exist. If you, it's like the cannabis friends I have, right? They're like, Gary, and I'm in that industry, investor in a lot of things. We can't target, we can't even run ads. I'm like, yes. And I couldn't ship alcohol to 40 of the 50 states when I started winelibrary.com. You've got to live in the realities of it. Marty, you need to be, to your point, you're not gonna be able to target the way somebody else is in the sector. That doesn't mean you can't go to Google right now and type in keywords and see what the 4 first pages worth of results take you, and is there advertising options on there? Kind of like I did in 1997 on Yahoo or 2001 in Google. And I think that makes a lot of sense to you because you also came up in this game. That's just what happens, right? You also can search hashtags with and you're going to know all the right hashtags because it's your industry, and you're going to find influencers who could be spokespeople, can be amplifiers of, right? Because that's what's going to happen. So it's a little less scale, a little more hand-to-hand combat, but I think you're going to find some great things, and it's going to make you more innovative than the people who are lazily just using 1P data across big platforms.
Cool, thank you.
Does that make sense, Marty?
It makes a lot of sense. Very helpful. Thank you.
And it's sometimes a perspective swing, right? I think it's the opportunity because it's going to challenge you to be more creative. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people right now are losing because they're lazy because Facebook and Instagram are so easy, but it's actually they're slow death because they don't realize they become one-dimensional and those marketplaces change.
Yeah. How about kind of email lists and custom Facebook data?
Of course, there's always there's always custom data you can buy that you can overlayer. So there'll always be things like that as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
What I think, Martin, the other thing to consider is what you have, which a lot of brands don't, is a ton of content because you started as a publication first. I mean, so many of the brands that we talk to now, especially ones that are selling commoditized products, drop shipping, et cetera, they need to now build that whole layer of lifestyle content, et cetera, make it meaningful. You've got that side of the business in place. So it's really about leaning into that and almost getting a significant portion of your audience to come in through that funnel and then drive them to the shop experience, because I think that they want to consume that type of content. So bring them in through there.
Yeah, agreed. Brilliant. Thank you both so much.